with our next edition of the book for the Seekers of God, or Shivananda Vani. Shivananji, as we know, used to sit with his devotees and with monastics and explain many aspects of spiritual life to them. This book is a collection of all that. तो सारा कुछ मिला के उन्होंने जो भी एडवाइस दी है उसके बारे में ये किताब है. आज हम इसका पार्ट 3 करेंगे ऑफ द फर्स्ट चैप्टर. टू हमने करा था कल और आज हम 3 करेंगे. ये फिर से बेलूर मठ में है. जगह बता रहे हैं. प्लेसेस बेलूर मठ और समय है मंडे नवंबर 1922. At that time, India was swept by the non-cooperation movement and numberless people were courting imprisonment. The whole country was awakened by Mahatma Gandhi's appeal. Men and women by thousands who considered the motherland's political independence the highest idol were ready to dedicate their lives at her altar. तो फ्रीडम मूवमेंट शुरू हुई है. ऐसा टाइम है और ऐसे समय में इट वॉज अ मंडे. द इवनिंग सर्विस वॉज जस्ट ओवर एट द चैपल ऑफ द मॉनेस्ट्री एट बेलूर. And there were great silence all around. Sadhus and brahmacharis were engaged in devotions and meditation, while Swami Shivananda, absorbed in meditation, sat on a couch in his room. तो शिवानंदा जी अपने कमरे में बैठे थे और साधु लोग सब मंदिर में बैठे हुए थे, मेडिटेशन कर रहे थे. The dim light made his serene face the more serene and radiant. Time slipped away till at last the Swami began reciting Pushpadanta's hymn, describing the glories of Shiva. His mind seemed swept in the ocean of bliss. Just then, from Calcutta came a devotee, and after due pranams to the Swami, sat on the floor. तो कलकत्ते से कोई आए थे. उन्होंने प्रणाम किया और बैठे और महापुरुष महाराज उनको देख के बहुत खुश हुए और उनको बड़े प्यार से बोला, अरे तुम हो, कब आए? और डिवोटी ने बोला, हाँ महाराज, I arrived at the time of the evening service. Swami, I believe you were in the chapel all this time. डिवोटी बोलते हैं, हाँ महाराज, मैं बिल्कुल वहीं पे था. तो मुझे स्वामी जी बोल रहे हैं, बताओ इतने दुखी क्यों हो? घर में सब ठीक तो है, सब खुशल हैं? जैसे सब पूछते हैं महाराज भी उन्हें उसी तरह से पूछ रहे हैं. और हमारे भक्त कह रहे हैं, यस महाराज, बाय योर ब्लेसिंग ऑल आर वेल, बट फॉर द पास्ट फ्यू डेज आई हैव बीन मेंटली अपसेट over a certain question. अब ये प्रश्न क्या है जो उनको इतना नाखुश कर रहा है? वो कह रहे हैं, it's made me extremely unhappy. I'm here with the idea of unburdening my heart to you. If you permit me, I shall do so. स्वामी बोलते हैं, ठीक ठीक, बोलो, क्या बोलना चाहते हो? अब भक्त बड़े with great earnest, he says, Maharaj, at this hour, the whole country is stirred to its very depths by the non-cooperation movement of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi. Countless men and women are rotting in jails. Many have already laid down their lives. And Mahatma Ji himself also has plunged into the sea of danger. इतने लोग danger में आए हैं अभी. But why is the Ramakrishna mission silent in this immense countrywide movement? ये क्वेश्चन बहुत लोगों का होता है कि पॉलिटिकल प्रॉब्लम्स में रामकृष्ण मिशन क्यों नहीं आता है। तो ये पॉलिटिकल मूवमेंट थी, फ्रीडम मूवमेंट थी, यहाँ पे रामकृष्ण मिशन क्यों नहीं कुछ कर रहा है? हैज़ नॉट द मिशन सम ड्यूटी इन देयर नेशन स्ट्रगल फॉर फ्रीडम? सो दिस नेशनल स्ट्रगल सभी का होना चाहिए ना कोई कंट्रीब्यूशन, मिशन का नहीं है। फाइनली इन अ टोन ऑफ ग्रीवेंस द डिवोटी एडेड, डोंट यू फील फॉर द कंट्री एट ऑल? आर यू पावरलेस टू डू एनीथिंग इन द मैटर? कैसी बात कर रहे हैं देखिए। स्वामी शिवानंद's calm face assumed a serious aspect. महाराज एकदम सीरियस हो गए। After a while, he broke the silence, saying, well, the doing of a divine incarnation are beyond the reach of the average intellect. ये श्री रामकृष्ण जी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं। कह रहे हैं वो तो अवतार थे, वो क्या करते हैं ये हम नहीं कह सकते। How would you or the nation understand the way of divine action? When God embodies himself as man, he does so for no particular race or nation. कितनी बड़ी बात कह दी उन्होंने कि एक जाति या एक देश के लिए कोई अवतार नहीं आते हैं, वो सबके हैं। इसीलिए हम लोग नहीं एंटर करते। आगे देखिए वो क्या बोलते हैं। The manifestation this time is of the highest sattvic aspect of the Lord. The incarnation Sri Ramakrishna is the embodiment of perfect sattva, containing within himself at the six divine powers. He lived in the body, assuming only pure sattvic moods. Consider the way he spent his entire life in a temple court on the banks of the Ganga. How would you understand the deep spiritual significance of all this? तो ये जो spiritual significance है इसका तुम कैसे समझोगे? ये पूछ रहे हैं वो भक्त से। तुम समझ में आ रही है क्या तुमको कुछ भी? तो समझ में आ रही है तो बोलो, बताओ। It was in order to spread his sattvic spiritual thoughts that Sri Ramakrishna brought with him as his assistants such a powerful soul as Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji could certainly have stirred the country to political revolution had he so chosen. Who is more patriotic than he was? How many hearts bleed for the downtrodden masses as his did? तो उनसे बड़ा देशभक्त कोई है? सब गरीब दुखियों के लिए उनका प्यार हमेशा उमड़ पड़ता था। Swamiji did not start a Swamiji did not start a revolution. Had he known it would really help India, he would surely have done so. तो स्पिरिचुअल अपलिफ्टमेंट के लिए या किसी और कारण अगर ये हेल्प करता तो वो ज़रूर इसको शुरू करते। Aside from Swami Vivekananda, even we, by the grace of the Lord, have such powers within us that we can revolutionize the country if we wish. हमारे अंदर ऐसे powers हैं, but the Master would not permit us to do so. He brought us here to assist him in his work and is constantly leading us by the hand in all that we do for the good of the country and its people. तो जो भी हम कर रहे हैं, हम सब श्री रामकृष्ण का हाथ पकड़कर कर रहे हैं। वो हमें हाथ पकड़कर करवा रहे हैं। Believe me when I say our only desire is to advance the good of the world. सिर्फ एक देश का नहीं, पूरी पृथ्वी का, पूरे ब्रह्मांड का, जितने भी जिसको भी हम कर सकते हैं सबके लिए हैं। How can I explain to you the depths of our feelings for the miseries of the people? Only the Lord who dwells in every heart knows it. Before passing out of his body, the Master vested his whole power and the responsibility of his mission in Swami Vivekananda. Only after traveling over the globe from one end to the other and scrutinizing it closely did Swamiji found this mutt and mission to carry on activities beneficial to the world and particularly to India according to the directions of the Master. तो स्वामी जी ने ये मठ मिशन तैयार किया था सारा कुछ रामकृष्ण देव के कहने पर। श्री रामकृष्ण देव या हम सबके जो गुरु हैं। One by one, Swamiji engaged us all in these activities. If we had so wished, we could very well have lived a life of exclusive contemplation and meditation in mountains and forests. As a matter of fact, most of us has been away from the monastery in different places doing that to some extent. हम तो सारे जा सकते थे पहाड़ों में, वहाँ पे बैठ के मेडिटेशन करते। हम यहाँ क्यों हैं? क्योंकि हमको हाथ पकड़ के श्री रामकृष्ण करवा रहे हैं। It was Swamiji who called us together and engaged us in works of service, the service of God in humanity. Even in our old age, we have been carrying on that work. Devotee, Maharaj, do you mean that Mahatma Gandhi and other leaders have not been doing genuine national service? Their unique spirit of service, fortitude, and sacrifice cannot be ignored. How much ill treatment and persecution are they suffering for the sake of the country? तो डिवोटी जो है उनको थोड़ा सा अपसेट हो गए। वो कह रहे ऐसा महात्मा गांधी कुछ गलत थोड़ी कर रहे हैं। सो महापुरुष महाराज जी कह रहे हैं नो, आई डू नॉट मीन दैट. Their renunciation, fortitude, and national service are indeed very praiseworthy. Their lives are surely great and exemplary, and they have done much good for the country, working for what they sincerely believe to be beneficial to India. However, our plan of work is different. Do you know what we think about the nationwide leaders? They are doing this service inspired by certain particular thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji. There is no doubt about it that Mahatma Gandhi is really endowed with great powers. It is also true that there has been a special manifestation in him of the primal energy, the mother. Sorry, just a little disturbance. सो उनके माध्यम से बहुत बड़ा काम कर रहे हैं। कौन कर रहे हैं? उनके हिसाब से भगवान जो हैं ये महात्मा गांधी के भीतर से माँ मैनिफेस्ट कर रही हैं। In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Shri Krishna said to Arjun, "Whatever glorious, prosperous, or powerful being there is, know thou that he has sprung from a portion of my splendor." So, उन्हीं के बीच से, उन्हीं से ये निकल के आते हैं। Whatever glorious, prosperous, or powerful being there is, know thou that he has sprung from a portion of my splendor. मैं ही हूँ. Whoever manifests special powers and is held in high esteem and reverence by many undoubtedly represents a special divine manifestation. The Mother of the Universe, who was awakened by Sri Ramakrishna for the good of the world, is obviously working in various ways through the instrumentality of different persons. Many times in his lectures, Swami Vivekananda stated what constitutes India's true well-being. Solutions he proposed for the regeneration of the country 25 or 30 years ago, the abolition of untouchability, the elevation of depressed classes, the spread of education among the masses, and so on, are now being preached by Mahatma Gandhi. तो वो कहना चाह रहे हैं कि महात्मा गांधी के माध्यम से श्री रामकृष्ण और स्वामी जी ही काम कर रहे हैं और कोई नहीं, क्योंकि उन्हीं की जो बातें हैं, ये अबॉलिशन ऑफ अनटचेबिलिटी, अछूत की बातें हटाना, निम्न श्रेणी के लोगों को ऊपर खींच के लाना और एजुकेशन स्प्रेड करना, ये सब महात्मा गांधी जो भी कर रहे हैं, ये सब स्वामी जी इतने साल पहले बोल के गए हैं. Though we may not voice our ideas and sentiments loudly in newspaper articles, we are actually accomplishing things not through politics, but in our own way. Mahatma Ji is working our similar ideas through politics. Just as we are doing things at home because we are interested in India's welfare, so we are doing things abroad because we are equally interested in other races and countries. तो देख लीजिए, जो यहाँ हो रहा है इस नेशन में, हम लोग पूरे विश्व में कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम सिर्फ देश के लिए नहीं, सबके लिए काम करते हैं. Of course, in view of particular circumstances and conditions, our plan of activity varies in different places. Every monk of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission established by Swamiji is dedicated to the idea for one's own salvation and for the good of the world, and is engaged in service according to the injunctions of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. Devotee. What does the devotee say? But Maharaj, the national awakening caused by the non-cooperation movement of Mahatma Ji would have received an added impetus if the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission had cooperated with it. This opinion, far from being just my own, is held by many thoughtful people of the country. Why don't you cooperate with Mahatma Ji in his national campaign? आप क्यों नहीं cooperate कर रहे? Swami Ji, well, I told you at the outset that we are working in our own way in accordance with our own ideal and our own ideals which have been formulated and left to us by the far-sighted sage Swami Vivekananda. तो स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने जैसे बोला है, हम वैसे ही वही काम कर रहे हैं, पर पॉलिटिकली नहीं कर रहे हैं, पॉलिटिक्स के माध्यम से नहीं कर रहे हैं. Before his illumined vision was revealed, the picture of the next 1,000 years, not merely of India, but of the entire world. He saw everything clearly and chalked out a definite policy for us to follow. He was not throwing stones in the dark. He could see even the distant future clearly. तो स्वामी जी बहुत दूरदर्शी थे, तो वो कह रहे हैं उन्होंने 1000 वर्ष तक का अनुमान लगा चुके हैं और वो उतना फ्यूचर वो देख भी चुके हैं. The manifestation of divine power we see in Sri Ramakrishna in this age is unique. There has not been such a manifestation in many centuries. The wave of spirituality will roll on, unimpeded, over all the world for a long time. This is just the beginning, the prelude. The spiritual sun, which has appeared on the horizon of India, will illumine the entire world with its undimmed pure rays. That is why Swamiji said, this time India is the center. Spiritual power will be manifested with India as the center. Who can stem the tide of this divine power? The regeneration of India is absolutely certain. India's advance in art, science, philosophy, and education in every field, secular and spiritual, will be so great that it will astonish the whole world. Compared with her future achievements, her glorious past will pale into insignificance. Then you will realize why the Master and Swamiji came and how much they contributed to the well-being of India. When can the limited mind of man understand about the doings of those divine beings? Don't you see that they have awakened the national Kulakundalini of India? तो सोचिए, वो कह रहे हैं कि पूरा नेशनल कुलकुंडलिनी जो है वो एकदम जाग चुका है, इसीलिए इंडिया और भी आगे बढ़ेगी, सेंटर बनेगी। तो हमको प्राउड होना चाहिए कि इंडिया आगे बढ़ रही है, हर क्षेत्र में बढ़ रही है। जैसे यहाँ पे बोला है, साइंस में बढ़ेगी, आर्ट में बढ़ेगी, फिलॉसफी, एजुकेशन, हर चीज़ में इंडिया आगे बढ़ रही है। हम सब इस चीज़ को देख रहे हैं। तो स्वामी जी ने जो प्रेडिक्शन की थी वो सचमुच सही निकल रही है। आशा है आपको ये किताब का रीडिंग अच्छा लग रहा है। ऐसे ही और वीडियोस देखने के लिए देवाक्षर के साथ जुड़े रहिए। हम फिर आएंगे नेक्स्ट इंस्टॉलमेंट इस बुक की लेके। तब तक के लिए आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।